Thank you, Baba. Thank you so much, sir. Oloyele Kalabi, do you want to add to it? Yes, sir.
Yes, the elders have said it. May they not say it all.
Are you not an elder yourself?
Thank you, sir. The urge and the push that one sees at public functions, particularly dance halls or event centers, and everybody is taking what they call selfies. So what was a dream some 30 years ago is impossible. To appear on the screen, you must go to television as Agodi or Diba Beach, Lagos, or television Kaduna, Enugu, Benin. Suddenly, at the fingertip of everybody that's the capacity to buy a handset that has camera. So what do? They will unleash it on us once they have data. Sometimes you say, this is obscene, or this is self-promotion, or this is unnecessary. So now it is either you switch off or you change channel. So that freedom, the laxity. Some people just walk to you in parties or public places and just ask somebody, I tell them, because you also check for the background. You don't know, because all of my people are then they will not say, like that lady, Madueke. You remember the Madueke lady who in the days of Babangida said was a go between criminals, prisoners, and freedom, because they said her boyfriend, Compol or Yakri or something. And the lady took, I think she used the ticket of the commissioner of police, who was in charge of something to do with security then, or drug control. And she took a shot with the late professor. Yes, sir. And she took deliberate. She took a picture with that world standard surgeon, pediatrician, Baba Oliko Irazo Kuti. And she had the photograph in her office. So whenever people had trouble and they came to the office, they were seen now with top-notch Nigerians, powerful Nigerians, as we just say, Che Oliko, Apadi dinner in Sheraton. I don't know your way, but you are like Beton that she was arrested. We love local First Lady Miriam Babangida to do business. Now today it is video. I just actually have video for me. Video. Yep, who are you? So now it is the freedom unbridled, on control. Not lower far. The one I pity are those innocent children that some parents, so-called parents and guardians, are pushing their photographs or shots out as models. Innocent young girls with lipstick. There was one that was on network, social media, some 2 weeks ago, and they were doing this shaku dance. Little kids between the age of 6 and 9.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Shaku dress dance. So it's not only fake news, it is now derobing our valued tradition and culture, language, our food, our dresses, our names, and the things we hold there. But who is the gatekeeper? None. Buy data, post, share. Even some will beg you, please share this. Please share this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Akoguntola Adeni, sir.
What else is there to add? I've already told you that it's going to get worse. This is unlikely to get better.
Okay. So what can we do so it doesn't get worse?
There is somebody here that I'm learning is from Ogobi. Adeyemo. Ayodele. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would like to be linked with him later. I would like I would like to exchange telephone numbers with him.
Okay, I have that. Oga Mili Academy, Mutisole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
thank
that right?
you. So, sir, do you want me to take another question, sir?
No, I was just going to. Hello, Shola.
Yes. Oloye Adeyemo.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Actually, mine is not a question, but just to align myself with all that have been said about this unregulated social media. You see, by the time we're talking of it, it's like everybody is being free. Let's have freedom without defining it. And now the freedom is here. And it becomes a serious problem to each and every one of us, especially when you see life being wasted and celebrated on social media. Just a few hours ago, there was this video clip where a lot of human beings were massacred somewhere. They were, burnt to ashes, and it's all over. Now you can imagine the sight of whoever looks at it. And in any case, it has no boundary. Just like Oloye Alabi was saying, the culture is gone. The security is gone. And a lot of this, in one way or the other, people social bloggers, they add to so much of this. Now, I've been wondering myself, as somebody who is in the media, that who is going to regulate this? How do we go about it? Recently, the government, and I think the government overreacted, so to say, when it said it suspended Twitter. Fine, if they had any reason at all. But it's beyond suspending a channel. Can we just think generally on what to do, or strategies to be put together to regulate social media? I am not saying we should not give freedom, but I am so much concerned about the content, the scope, because if I say something right out now, you in US, within seconds, no, it's a matter of seconds, the intimacy is high, and you get it, and it may not be truth. So these are the issues, and I think the media, the leadership of the media, the big people like Dr. Farumbi, Baba Kogun, there are so many of them in Nigeria. I think they should have a forum. We can help the government. That's just my opinion.
Thank you, Chief Ayodele Adeyemo. Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to call Dr. Folajogun Oluwajana. Yes, sir. I'll mute yourself. Yeah, okay. You're muted.
Thank you, Olotu. Well, thank you to our veteran journalists for all they've been teaching us. Well, and I think Baba Adeboye was going to have a rest today, but he didn't. And let me say, welcome to my ex-teacher, Dr. Farumbi. I'm a product of Oyemekun Grammar School. You're welcome.
What year? Professor, it's okay. What year?
Oh, well.
Was I born then?
Probably. it's a long year time ago. Ajilogo will tell you the year. Anyway, yeah, thank you for all you've been saying. It's been very, very educative for me. I wasn't very good in the media. I was probably a science student at Oyemekun. So, but nice to see you, sir. My question, I have so many questions, but one particular one I want to ask is, we know that corruption is what has killed all our institutions in Nigeria at the moment. Both the political, educational, health, and every aspect of our institution is gone. Is journalism immune to this corruption?
No. Absolutely no.
No.
I've just said it. These days, journalists on the payroll of politicians.
Oh dear.
If you look at what happened in 2015, prior to elections, this present regime that we all now lament about was stampeded into supporting it by the media. They told us they were very straightforward, it's the best that can happen to Nigeria, and things like that. They got all of us to accept that the outgoing one was clueless. Now we're going to have somebody who had all the answers to our security problem, to our economic problem. Àwọn Yorùbá ní pé àjókòó, a fi àkùkọ, a dìde ọwọ́ wa ò tó. They now install a government that they can no longer control. That does not listen to them. But I'm told they love looking at their cartoons. So the media had changed. The media had changed. And it's tape or radio, or even some TV stations, even some newspapers. I know one particular newspaper that doesn't pay staff at all. The proprietor tells you, and I give you a business card. That's enough for you to make money. So that means you're on payroll. That's corruption. Where you are unable to pay your staff on radio and the man has to survive, he comes on air 17, 18, 24 hours every day. You have to keep on coming and you are not paying salary. So what does he do? He places his service, he becomes a press agent rather than a news reporter. So it's corruption are affected in various degrees. Also, the business. One of the things we're trying to do is for broadcasting now to have a professional body. And the broadcasting organizations of Nigeria have accepted, and I think they are putting a bill before the House. So there'll be a broadcasting practitioners bill. So that when you break the rules, you get a personalized punishment by your professional body, so that you can get deroped, you can get removed from the professionalism, you can get barred from practicing the profession. When we're able to do this, the massive corruption that is all over Nigeria and that has invaded broadcasting and journalism will remain for a long time.
Oh dear, well, so we still got a very, very long way to go.
Do you have any question?
Yes, probably.
Yes.
Yes. We are speaking in English. Okay. I thank you for all your presentations, for all the enlightenment. And you've covered, I think, very, very important grounds. I'm happy you were able to address the social media question. But I have a question on that and also another one. On social media, I know there is a discussion or controversy over controlling the social media, sort of regulating them, because it's also regulating them borders on censorship. it has its good and bad times and sides. How do you think the social media could be better regulated to remove the negative sides of social media without infringing too much on the issue of censorship? And the second one, I don't know how we can do this, but I'm looking at the issue of preservation of old newspapers. I think we are rather behind on that, but is there a way now that we can start really preserving our newspapers?
Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
And media and radio, like radio and all the media aspects.
I think most newspaper offices have been computerized. I'm sure they got computerized as far back as 1991, so 92. So almost Vanguard is very good at that. Almost all publications like Vanguard can be accessed from the reservoir. So that is done. They're there. They can be accessible. And because of this, the age of this digital age, whatever, I'm sure you Google any story, you will find it. Any story that is published by any newspaper automatically goes into what they call cloud, and you can access that. I don't think there's any problem with that. About regulating, I agree with you when you say regulating may actually imply censorship of some sort. Looking really realistically, I don't think there's a way you can regulate it. I don't think so. Because if you say in Nigeria, you cannot do this, cannot do that, you can't stop somebody copying and forwarding and sharing something that is published in Ghana or published in Jamaica or published in Hawaii. You can station a story in Hungary and say that published by so in Hungary and it will be shared in Nigeria. So how do you stop the authorship? I think what can reduce the danger or the damage is lawsuits. If somebody publishes something that is terrible, those concerned or those offended can take the media house or the publisher or the writer to court. But again, most of them are also faceless. So anyway, you see, you are suing ABC online, they don't have any office, they don't have any property, they don't have anything that you can do. When you convict them, you can't do anything to them because except the punishment is imprisonment. But if it is to impose a fine, nothing will happen because you can't recover you can't get the fine paid. So I think we just tag on as is happening over the world. Yes, the problem of social media is not a Nigerian problem, it's not an African problem. I think it's a worldwide problem. And I don't see how the world itself can tackle it. I don't see it.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, Emi Farombi, you are going to say something, sir?
Yes. There's nothing that is that cannot be done. I know countries where you don't have social media at all. I know countries where you don't even have, you can't even access your email. It's not the best. The problem we've had in Nigeria is that we don't trust the government. And when you don't trust the government, then and it wants to interfere with social media, then they have no confidence in what they will do.
Yes.
And that's why every time they've made every effort, they see it as a self-serving effort, a self-preservation effort, rather than something that is going to ennoble or enlighten the profession. I guess that over time, as Akobu said, we're going to have an improvement of the quality of those people running the social media. when the quality improves, then you're going to find that all these tendency to go towards the lowest denomination base false information will be removed. When people who try to run the become professionally, social media is a problem everywhere, but it is the decadence that is different. Where you have more educated people running it in some of those society, because it's not 10 years ago that Guardian the problem of social media, competition from social media. And they were facing the competition from social media because the quality of what the social media was providing was almost as good as what the newspapers were providing. I guess we will get there, but I don't think anybody trusts the government enough to want to give it the power with social media. It makes its own mistake rather than give it into the hand of people a few years ago are blatant propagandists, but now want nothing said about them. So I think that is this, the situation. I think with time, the social media will go. Certainly, it will.
Thank you, sir. I want to call up Mr. This is Aweda Senior at Gmail. We prefer your name, sir. What is your name? This is your Gmail address, but what's your name, sir?
Kolawole Sule.
Okay, well, what's your question, sir?
Yeah, I think I thank everybody for what they've been talking about. What the question I was going to raise had to do with what Chief Ayodele suggested. My question is, Baba Balumbi is saying we have to do this. Is there a way that they, gather together and see what they can do? Unfortunately, as he said too, that the government is untrusted government. What can people do in order to make sure that this thing is done properly, the way they want it? Now, because social media, like they said, if they say they are gathering people in Nigeria, people are somewhere else where they can throw things out. So whether it's fake or not, we do say out of all rumors, there's an element of truth. Things do go out that we know is happening, but they will say it's false news, false news. When the traditional people don't give us good news, it's what the government wants them to let us hear that we are hearing. And we know it's not the truth. We got to follow whatever we get information from. So what can you do, please, to make sure that things are done in a way whereby people will be getting truth from whichever source is going to be?
May I answer that, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Chief Bacon. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Baba Sule. Our boss, admin, director of finance and admin was Chief Altin Adedeji, who relocated to England about 40 or 45 years ago. So sometime he had, like everybody, that Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, was going to organize the 48th year of television, which they did. And the DG, ironically, was somebody discovered by Dr. Yemfa Rumbi when he was at the university. And people said, are you going to be looking? That is the question you're asking now.
Thank you, sir.
And apart from the pragmatism of his government, Chief Obafemi Awolowo's party, the name Action Group fascinated and still fascinate people. Action. Enough of this theory. Action. I am guest on two weekly programs on radio. We review newspapers, news and current affairs, make our contribution, then the public will phone in. And I think with due modesty, the listeners have taken to my policy of I am a Muslim. My wife is a Christian, daughter of a Baba Joe. Jesus Christ is my friend. So please, anything that I so do public, don't bring your religion to me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, because they will now say, Oloye, thank you for God that's why Sherry transformer go at saying God has given us intelligence, resources for us to put together and make life better. So action group, action. So when the authorities at Abuja said they added 40 to 1979, when the Obasanjo government overran WNTV, WNBS, Cooperative College, University of Ife, and many other things, people are saying, so Chief Fortier came from London, his base. He on my phone, also join. Rimi, excuse me, it's day. And it's okay, come tomorrow. I got to his house. I met Mr. George Jovate, the DJ of decades ago, with the late Mr. Tuji Marquis. Those were the ones that made WBS tick. And I met them. So, Chief Fortier now said, what a joke, CB. 145 history. Is television 70 and 40 years old? I said, excuse me, what can I do? He said, no, don't tell me that. Go and meet Farumbi. As he was listening, go and meet Farumbi. Go and meet Adebayo Sonda. Go and meet Baba Antikusi and Faleti. He mentioned his peers. Organize your own record. Thank you, sir. So I went to Oga Farumbi. I went to Ambadani Kalubai. And let us take patience. When television is 60, we shall celebrate it, which we did 2 years ago, calculating that if television started in Africa from October 30, 1959, 60 will be October 30, 2019. So part of the objective was not only registering us with CAC, we are going to build, that's our new programming, build a training school, have keep records here and all that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And you were celebrated with us. This is the correct anniversary. So in Nigeria, if you are not in government, there's nothing you can do. So, but people who are now watching us, commonly, they only theorize. It's only theorize, blueprint. Action is that the proprietors of so-called radio stations, television stations, media, social media, dishing out falsehood must be identified in cooperation with Nigerian Broadcasting Commission and others, professionals like this and others. Let the public also support by saying, we shall not patronize your station. We are no more going to be listening to your programs because we are sources of falsehood. Yeah.
Thank you,
sir. I'm very grateful, sir.
Thank you. Baba, Professor Adenim Adeboye, was that the hand that you raised before, or is a new hand?
It's a new hand.
Okay, sir.
All I want to do is make some suggestions. Some suggestion.
Yes.
I want to call social media explosion. I want to liken it to the pandemic that we are going through now, COVID. I'm not saying that they are exact. They are not, but it's something that is dropped on our planet that we aren't necessarily ready for, But whatever is happening in science laboratories, in political, international politics and whatever, all of a sudden we woke up and we are confronted with a pandemic. We are confronted with a pandemic. We don't even understand enough how it's, the biology of it. But we have to find a way to manage it if we are not going to disappear. So activities began among people who have the resources so to do, to experiment, to collect data, to create vaccine, and the people in this, I'm the United States. In these United States, people probably trust the government more than people trust government in Nigeria. But do you know what percentage of Americans have refused to be vaccinated? Quite a size. In other words, what I'm heading to is we have a pandemic of social media. It's not nearly as dangerous as COVID-19, but it's dangerous nonetheless, because even if it doesn't invade our physical health, it invades our psychic well-being. If we don't have a government in Nigeria that is trusted, how can we control the use and abuse of public media? Why should I wait until, government releases its own official information, which is often loaded with prejudice? Why should I wait for that to inform me? I'm supposed to be a school person. Hey, I went to university about it. But the point I'm making is, why are you telling me that any source of news that doesn't come from government or government sanction is not news? Why don't you educate me, inoculate me against the pandemic by showing me what vaccination, I'm abusing language, what vaccination I have to take in? For example, why can't we have a trusted institution at the almighty University of Ibadan that goes through all of social media, sifts truth from falsehood, and publishes it? Then there will be that's an inoculation. It can happen on every campus, Professor Falumi. We can make the universities our monitors, our inoculation centers that will look at what is in the public and sift truth out of falsehood. And then we who want to trust such institutions that are not being monitored by government will now say, oh, okay, then I know how to run away from the pandemic. And not all of us will do it, because not all of us will trust the process, but more will trust that process than without it. That's only a suggestion.
Ola, please, may I again come in?
Yes, sir.
Please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yesterday was the 20th memorial anniversary of that world-class surgeon, Professor Toriola Feisheton Sholanke. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Professor Sholanke was the husband of Nigeria's first lady son, Mama Folake Sholanke. Their daughter, Dr. Yemisi, qualified as a medical doctor. The line of her dad, later went to read law and also became a lawyer, line of her mom. She was the brain behind the memorial service. Okay. And there was Zoom meeting yesterday. And they used part of my archive material on the program. So what has that got to do with the analysis of Baba Adeboye? In 1982, Professor Sholanke was elected president, West African College of Surgeons. So he qualified to come on Speak Out under the general managership of Dr. Yemfa and I as the presenter. And I asked that question that day. It's in the video. I can release it. In fact, I sent it to you, Shola, the clip. Speak Out.
Yes.
Thank you. 1982. I now ask Professor Sholanke, sir, congratulations on your election as president of SAR. Are you thinking of finding solution to a disease uncommon to Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and West Africa, African continent, and the world? 32 years after COVID really set. So I now went into the archive of that. God, I remember asking Professor Solanke if his body, College of Surgeons, were thinking of an unknown disease to Nigeria, West Africa, Africa, and the world. And he said, I will try my best to quote for Solanke's answer was, yes, there's an avalanche of papers, research on uncommon diseases. But mind you, diseases know no borders.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one they exacted and used yesterday on the Zoom. Now, sir, you are saying, what is the anti-vaccination or the vaccination against these fake news and their sources? Thank you, sir. It's part of the objective of the school under the FITAC. FITAC is the Registered Corporate Affairs Commission for those who are going to be celebrating Television Africa, schools, standardization, and all, and the valued principles, qualities of your WNTV, WNBS. So it is possible. It's a possibility because we cannot just sit down and relax. As we are doing this right now, I want to cook wrong fake news. We are survive this. They are cooking.
Kí ni mo tún fẹ́ darí dẹ́rú báyìí ní ìsìn?
Never cook you. Olúwa wà pé wọ́n lọ. Àbí same country nini, and all you are going to get later is that nauseating remark in this country that it creep up 30 years ago. And what is that? Okada is riding against the traffic. He collides with a jeep or a car, breaks the side mirror, and it is dangling. Those who are not related to him, when you want to take action, who's going to pay for the damage? Somebody will not say, then one man will just come out, or woman, from the crowd. When they made that and say, "Oh no, are you God?" And don't consider mirror. Mechanic. There was something on social media. Mechanic. Who they be Mercedes Benz customer? Who fell off your car? Yeah, the car was badly damaged. So action, as Baba said now, must be devised and taken. Not over shorty radio and TV station fake ones be men. School. Let us go to FITA school at Television House for proper training.
Thank you, Olóyè.
Mo fẹ́ sọ pé nǹkan tí bàbá Moye sọ, nǹkan tó yẹ ká wò náà ni, and we will take it up with a lot of our colleagues. Because it is also possible. You want to train people, FITAC and other schools to do them. But you want to be able to monitor to say this blogger is used to telling lies. Mm-hmm. And it's not the government saying so. But a neutral body might be from the university. It may be a coalition of 2 or 3 universities doing that.
Yes.
A top reputable university. Let us see how it will work. And then, since it's not a government body, but chances are that Nigeria will trust it.
Yes.
I
Thank
think
you, sir.
I will take this up with some of my other colleagues too, and we'll see what can be done. And Baba, we will revert back to you. For more, you can think more about it and clarify it a little bit more. Then we can work together on it. Through
yes,
get back to you, and then see what we can do with our bodies. Local organizations of Nigeria, Nigeria Press Organization, and see whether we can, in fact, enable, encourage an institution like that. You can do this. They have a Department of Language and Mass Communication. They have an Institute of African Studies. They have a postgraduate school. They have the capacity. They have the intellectuals that can do it. They might not be able to monitor everything on social media, but
yes,
yeah. I think the important started by an agency that doesn't belong. Chances are that they will work on that. They will trust it. But I assure you, within a week, 2 years, I'll get back to you.
and I will make sure that I work on the link and remind you, sir. Thank you, sir. Alàgbà Dókítà Olúẹkúndayọ̀, Professor Babasopona, ẹ ti wà lójú ọpọ́n. What's your question?
Kábíyèsí ó Sopona.
Yes. Dr. Olugbenga is an epidemiologist and one who has been helping us since.
Can just say your PPT here as automatic after.
Hello, Shengwami.
Hold on. I'm trying to mute everybody because something is just filtering that is not supposed to be here. Okay. Dr. Olugbenga Ekundayo, go ahead, sir.
Yes, ma. Hello, ẹ̀yin kú jókòó, ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà àti ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ńlá ni. Ó lè dàbí ẹni pé tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Nǹkan kan tó dàbí ẹni pé a ní ta lè lò láti fi tọ́jú ara wa. Òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ òòṣà tí wọ́n ń bọ nífẹ̀ẹ́, tí wọ́n ń pè ní olúbọ̀bọ̀ tìrìbọ̀ bàbá ẹbọ.
Ẹnu là ń bọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ẹnu.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, òun náà dẹ̀ ń pè ní tí àwọn òyìnbó ń pè ní public opinion. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí mo ti ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu àwọn àgbààgbà ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìkéde tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe àwọn nǹkan àwọn èèyàn, tí wọ́n fi ń bá àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀. Nǹkan kan tí mò ń rí níbẹ̀ ni wípé látìgbà tí a ti ń lo irú ọ̀nà báyìí láti máa fi kéde nǹkan, nítorí pé Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé akébòsí ṣe díẹ̀ nínú ìjà, nítorí pé kí wọ́n bá lè wá bí wọ́n ṣe máa yí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu àwọn èèyàn àti èrò àwọn èèyàn sí ọ̀nà táwọn fẹ́ ni. Nítorí náà, nígbà tí ọ̀rọ̀ ìtàkùn àgbáyé tó dé tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo gbogbo àwọn kìíní tó ń pè ní social media, ó kúrò ọ̀rọ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe òtù kìíní yẹn, ó kúrò lọ́wọ́ wọn, ó wá bọ́ sí ọwọ́ gbogbogbò. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tá à ń gbọ́n sí ni pé gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe máa ń ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, òun náà làwọn èèyàn sì ń ṣe ń sìn. Òun ni pé tọmọ bá ń ké wọn ni gbẹ́nu ẹ dákẹ́ kó yí pariwo sí mi níbẹ̀ yẹn, wọn ò ní bèrè pé ọmọ kí ló dé tó ń ké. Kán wá rò ó dáadáa, kán rò ó jinlẹ̀, kán lè wá nǹkan tán máa ṣe sí. Gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu àwọn àgbààgbà ń sìn ni bá ṣe ń ṣe nígbà báyìí, bá ṣe ń ṣe nígbà tó jẹ́ pé ibi 3 péré náà ní l'Ékòó, n'Íbàdàn àti ní ṣé Kaduna lẹ pé ni àwọn èèyàn ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa lọ kán tó gbé wọn sáyé, tó ti wá di nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ó sì gbogbogbò lónìí. Kí ni dé tí àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn àgbààgbà wa àtàwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n ṣe rò pé ọmọ ló ń ké ìbáwo ni ká ṣe ṣe? Nítorí pé tá a bá ti sọ pé kí ni nǹkan tó ń ṣe ọmọ tó ń ké, kí ni báwo ni ká ṣe ṣe? Gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń gbọ́ yìí tá máa ń sọ wípé ní ẹnujọ́ mẹ́ta mo rí kinní kan tí wọ́n fi síta. Wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ọba 5 kan ti sọ pé kò sí nǹkan tó ń pè ní Yorùbá nation. Gbogbo àwọn ọba 5 tàdé ń sọ yẹn, gbogbo wọn la ti ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti ń sọ wípé ìjà agbára ni ìjà tó lè gbé Yorùbá dúró. kó wá jẹ́ pé àwa sọ pé ká máa sọ pé ọmọ dákẹ́ torí ọmọ dákẹ́ lè ní gbọ́ yìí sìn báwo la ṣe lè control ẹ̀ kì í ṣe báwo la ṣe lè ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé a tún fún wa lágbára sí mo á fẹ́ kí ẹjọ́ ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà ẹ bá wa wò ó ẹ bá wa fojú sí ẹ bá wa fojú wo ọ̀nà ọbẹ̀ yẹn nítorí pé tá a bá wo ọ̀nà ọbẹ̀ yẹn bí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé à ń fojú kan rìn ni àbá ń fẹsẹ̀ kan rìn ọwọ́ kan ò dẹ̀ ṣe pàtẹ́wọ́ nítorí náà ẹ ṣe bá wa wò ẹ ṣeun.
ẹ ṣeun so ohun tí ẹ sọ ni pé ọmọ dákẹ́ là ń wí àwọ̀ náà bó ṣe jẹ́ pé ọmọ ò sọ nǹkan tó yẹ kó sọ láwùjọ mo rò pé tí àwọn bó ṣe máa gbé fún àwọn bàbá wa Yẹmí Farounbi but mi rò pé tí wọ́n ń sọ náà ni pé bó ṣe yẹ kọ́ mo sọ̀rọ̀ ni kó sọ̀rọ̀ dípò kó máa sunkún bàbá Farounbi ó dọwọ́ yín sà ọ̀rọ̀ tí Dr. Ẹkúndayọ̀ sọ ẹ on mute sà. àwọn onígbàgbà kan ni wọ́n jẹ́ kí n tún mute gbogbo wa.
Okay. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀, I like what you just said. Ó kàn dàbẹ́ pé kò dàbẹ́ pé gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti ń sọ látàárọ̀ ní pé kọ́ ọmọ ó dákẹ́. Nítorí pé a ti wo ìdí ẹ̀ tó fi jẹ́ pé citizen journalism fi become important. Nǹkan tá à ń sọ ni bí citizen journalism ṣe máa wá wà lórí òótọ́. And it's very simple. Training. Àwọn tó ń ṣe citizen journalism everywhere náà ni wọ́n ti ń ṣe. One day a little bit more trained, that's all. Tó jẹ́ pé kí òbí tó mọ̀ pọ̀ mọ̀ ń ti kú kì í sórí social media ló máa rí tó ti kú. Tó bí jẹ́ pé tí accident bá wà kì í ṣe kámẹ́rà la máa kọ́ yọ. Gánà pé ká tú nǹkan tí tó mú wa débi tí a dé tí mo rò pé nǹkan tó ẹ gbọ́ ni pé nígbà míì èèyàn máa tí ẹ bá fẹ́ ra gàrí a máa ń yọ náà ni ẹ̀rí gàrí Ìjẹ̀bú ẹ̀rí gàrí Ẹ̀gbá ẹ̀rí gàrí Olóyọ̀ tó tẹ bá ti lè social media Olóyọ̀ lélẹ̀ social media Ẹ̀gbá social media gàrí àwọn èèyàn máa lè tó lè gbẹ́kẹ̀lé a ti sọ dáradára wípé wọ́n lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ díẹ̀ sí i kò sí pé a lè shut wọn down possible technologically it's not easy but a lè help ara wa by elevating the quality of the people who are doing it we can professionalize it there was a time àwọn tó máa ń ṣe billboard anybody could just do it. But eventually, you have their outdoor boards association of Nigeria. They put themselves together. They become a professional body. I want to say social media can put themselves together and become a professional body so that they can elevate themselves. All we are saying is that we can eliminate the dangers of a social media. You don't close it, you improve on what you have. Nígbà tí mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo ní gbà mí tí n bá wo station kan tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo àná fi dá màmá béèrè pé ṣé èmi gan ìjọ ọmọ Nàìjíríà because of their naked partisanship. Àwọn yẹn ló ní ìsìnkú kábẹ̀tì ní citizen journalism. A lè sọ wípé you have so many radio stations, so many TV stations, some of which the market will be sustained. But in other countries, not in many stations, not all of them are commercial. There are public service, there are those that are supported by grants, and so opportunities for another. Is it possible for us to support some of these stations by share grants so they can do Yoruba culture, for example? They can promote Yoruba culture. They can promote the value of Omoluabi. They can promote all those things that we hold dear to ourselves without looking for advantage. These are all possibilities. Ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jókòó, ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀, ká máa yọ síra. Ó kàn máa dàbẹ́ pé ṣé là ń sọ pé ọmọ dákẹ́ kì í ṣe nǹkan tá à ń sọ nìyẹn. For example, you know, people are trying to work on what they call Odua News Agency. To máa possible pé wọ́n á lè máa disseminate news to relate to Yoruba land. The same way News Agency does, the same way PANA does. And it's a body, a group of professionals, they are working on that. We are encouraging them so that authentic news, still they are not owned by government, they will be private owned, so that people can rely. What we want is in Katabari, Kali Dimubi Otito. So, Niko Moudake, a kàn sọ pé kí ọmọ ń kọ́ bọ́ ṣe ń sọ èdè ìlú ẹ̀ dáadáa kó lè sọ̀rọ̀. So kò kàn ní máa sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ò gbọ́ Yorùbá dáadáa. So these are various ways of looking at it. Ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ tí bàbá mi sọ something. We have about 30 social blogs. Ó lè jẹ́ méjì péré náà ni òun sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa. So when you isolate it, you close up on it, you help them to educate, you help them to train their staff, and then they will improve. Then, I mean, because they are creating jobs anyway, they are creating income for people. And we cannot foreclose that. We know how much Nigeria had lost by closing Twitter. It's not Nigeria government that is losing money. It's not Twitter that is losing money. They are Nigerians. It's over 241 billion naira. We know what that can do to the lives of our people. So we encourage them to become more professional. When they become more professional, they make more money. So that's what we are trying to say. We are not saying they go and shut them down. See you.
Baba. Baba Benjamin Esson, I'm going to take the last question from you, sir. Baba, please unmute yourself. Baba Benjamin Esson.
Oh, well, your microphone is unmuted. I want to say thank you for allowing me. I'm not a member of any of your organization, but for allowing me to speak, I say thank you to Professor Mayumbi, who probably knows me. I don't know. And I think I know all of you. You have done well. There's only one thing wrong with us. There's a disconnect between the politicians, the intellectuals, and the masses. And I thought yesterday, somebody said, it is better to bring in some people who are not politicians, but they know how politics should be run. That is, they are mostly intellectuals. That how do we identify them? Bring them to the fold, because they are very important. Most of the politicians, I like to say that, are non-politicians. They're really people looking for money. They want to use it as a profession. Also, the journalists, I was going to say that journalists drove some of us out of Nigeria back to the diaspora. And I think they should look into their fold also to prune people who are rumor mongers, tell you something that happened in your presence, but you think you were not there. So these are the area until we can integrate the three groups, the politicians, the journalists, and the intellectuals who are outside, plus the masses. We won't go far. There's too much disconnect. And I don't know, I have no answer. I have no answer for everything. But if Chief Farumbi, Professor Farumbi, or Baba, or the old man who spoke yesterday, Adebanjo, Lawyer Deba, you have been hearing his name long ago. He used to be a friend of Chief Olajide's son. And they were both lawyers and they were good friends. And all attempts were made for me to convince me to be a politician. So I'd rather be a farmer than be a politician.
Thank you, Baba.
Well, Baba, I know you very well. And I probably respected you. The danger you run when good people run away from politics is that you get ruled by charlatans. Those are part of the dangers you run. We've allowed the charlatans to take over. Our lives are too important to be left in the hands of politicians. And that is why everywhere they have people who are not necessarily politicians, but they are lobby groups, they are prayer.
That is the broadband. I'm trying to it's frozen. Okay. Bóyá Bàbá Fárúnbí á tún ní àǹfààní láti padà, ẹ jẹ́ kí n is the network. Okay. Baba Fárúnbí, you cannot. Okay, sir, you cannot mute. I got you back, sir. Okay.
So I believe that all of us will continue to serve as a prayer group to make sure that those who are playing politics
Okay. Okay. I think it's network from Baba Fárúnbí.
Nigeria now one.
Likely Nigeria then.
Nigeria ni. Nigeria ni. Okay, wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ nǹkan tí ó dùn mọ́ mi nípa ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olóṣèlú yẹn. So, while we're waiting for him, Akoguntola Adeniji, do you want to say something to what Baba Esan said as we are trying to round up?
Nigeria has really discouraged me from making any comments on Nigerian politics since my soul is out of Nigeria. So anything when they're talking about politics in Nigeria, but if they're talking about politics in Yoruba land and so on, then I might be able to contribute to it. But if it's politics about a country that's wrong-headed, I rather keep my powder dry. Don't know what to say. I think Nigeria is too far gone now to be thinking of what kind of politics that can bring it back. Be that as it may, I think there's a valid point that even if it's Nigeria or Yoruba nation or Middle Belt Republic, we should not leave politics in the hands of neophytes, in the hands of mediocres. Learned people, wise people, intelligent people, educated people should be involved in politics. And more than that, or more than anything else, anybody that will be in politics for any community must have a second address. The problem we have, and we've had for many years, is that most people in politics had no other business other than politics. They had no second address. And so they would rather die there because that's the only source of livelihood that they had. So, but if you are a professor, you are a doctor of medicine, not in Gigi, who has never practiced, but you are a doctor and you have your clinic and it's vibrant and you are now rendering service to your community, then you will be encouraged to be in politics. And that is those are the kind of people that should run any community in the future. People must have their own jobs so that politics should just be a vocation rather than an occupation.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Baba Farombi, you are back, sir. Baba Farombi, can you finish what we started, what you started talking about before we round up? Yes.
So, those of you outside there, the intellectual, the political, the common people, and the professionals, we have to begin to work together again so that we can build a better, because it's about our life, it's about our society. No matter where you are, you have a lot of people here. So we must get the journalists to do a good job, we must get the politicians to do a good job, we must be the bridge. Èmi náà rò pé Ọlọ́run ó fi ẹ̀yin diaspora kẹwàá ni, you are now becoming the catalyst, the change agent that is making those of us at home what we would not have seen. Torí ẹ̀yin rí, and you are now putting pressure. So I am sure that things are going to get better.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
As we keep on.
Okay. Thank you, sir. If we look at the time, we started exactly 3:03, and this is 6:23. I have learned a lot. I have gained a lot. And I'm very, very grateful to all my ogas. They've been inspirations to me. Their activities in the past and what they are doing in the present has made Yoruba Gode what Yoruba Gode is today. I want to start from Baba, Professor Yemi Farombi, for his continuous encouragement and support, not only now, all the time on Yoruba Gode. I'm very, very grateful. You've been an inspiration and your encouragement is noted. Thank you so much, sir. I'm very grateful for the time that you spent today.
Thank you. Thank you.
As usual, yesterday with Egbe Omo Yoruba, Baba Farombi was there for about 5 hours, giving us all the inspiration that we need. And here, we were able to track him down for another over 3 hours today. I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful to Ogami Akoguntola Adeniyi. It's always there for me. I mean, sometimes it's just like I ambush him. I am very grateful. It is your encouragement that makes Yoruba Gode what it is. And I can say, Ajato Leni Leni Lon Bobo. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you, sir.
You are doing very well. You are doing well. You are doing well. You are doing well. You are doing great. We are so proud of you.
Thank you, sir. Bọ̀dá Olóyè Lékan Àlàbí Ẹ̀kẹfà Olúbàdàn, I'm very, very grateful. If people say, Shola, you are doing this, you are doing that, I'll tell them that tí mo bá ń dábí ìròmì tó ń dábí ẹdun tó ń rọ̀ bí òwe, onílù rẹ̀ wà níbì kan. Olóyè Lékan Àlàbí is one of my onílù tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí n máa jó tí mò ń dábí ẹdun tí mo fi ń rọ̀ bí òwe. Thank you so much. Mi ò mẹ́ni tó pa ẹ̀yin engineer ẹ jẹ́ kí Chief Lékan Àlàbí ó sọ̀rọ̀ on mute.
Kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ ṣe àfọlọ́hun kọ́lọ́hun tí ò máa kọ́ àwọn ṣe.
Àmín, mo dúpẹ́. I'm very grateful to Ìgbìmọ̀, the Yoruba Gbode team. Some of us we are seeing, some of them we are not able to see them, but they are working underneath. I'm grateful to Yeye Amoye, Yeye Omofolabo Ajayi Soyinka for being with us. Anytime she has the opportunity, she's always with us. She's very, very busy, but anytime we can share our knowledge, we can borrow from our wisdom, we are always very, very grateful. Thank you so much. Pẹ́pẹ́ lowú ṣarọ́ àjíǹde ara yóò máa jẹ yín. Alàgbà Adéníran Adébóyè, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ìlú bàbá ìṣirò. Baba Adébóyè, like I said, more than 10 hours yesterday that he put into all these programs that we are doing. And he can't complain because he always told me in the past, go and I will be behind you. So Baba Adébóyè, èmi kọ́ ẹ̀yin náà lẹ ṣé o. Thank you so much for always being there. I'm very, very grateful. Our other people didn't come, I think because of the party, the 70th birthday for Alàgbà Akínsíkù, who was 70 yesterday. So that's why we didn't see Baba Ayiloge here today, and also Alàgbà Akínsíkù. By the grace of God, Yoruba Gbode will continue. Next week, we are going to be talking about the peace treaty and some other political things that have affected Yoruba as a race up till now. Also, we are expecting Baba Awishe in the next 2 weeks to come and talk to us about Yoruba belief, about Olodumare, Orisha, Aje, and all that. So, by the grace of God, I'll be announcing all other guests that are coming. I'm very, very grateful. And like I always say in Yoruba, ẹni tó fúnni lówó kò fẹ́ kí ebi ó pani, ẹni tó fúnni nímọ̀ kò fẹ́ ká rìn lókun àìnímọ̀, ṣé bí ẹni tó fúnni lọ́mọ kò fẹ́ kí á jàjẹrun bí iṣu. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yèyé mi o, Ẹ̀gbìnọlá Adékúnbí, àtúwọ̀ ẹ̀dùn ló kọ́ mi láṣà àmúdìrí àṣà. Ire ní mògùn ará alágbẹ̀dẹ ibi tó bá wà, ilẹ̀ rẹ ni. Till next week or some other time, I'm very, very grateful to all our guests today. And I thank you very, very much. And thank you all other people that joined us. You have really made Yoruba Gbode. You always make Yoruba Gbode. Thank you.
Dr. Farobi, good night, sir.
Good night, everybody.